Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you so much for joining us for a Healer Within practice sampler. These live practice sessions have been a wonderful way to keep us all connected during this time. And in certain days and times, helps us to recenter, brings a sense of unity, sense of peace, some light to our day. And I know that our presenter today will facilitate all of those things and more. We're delighted to be joined today by Dr. Roger Jahnke, OMD. Dr. Jahnke has dedicated his professional life to sharing the powerful ancient healing traditions of China. And with over 30 years of clinical practice as a physician of acupuncture and traditional Chinese medicine and 10 research tours in China, Dr. Jahnke has emerged as a key spokesperson for and master teacher of Tai Chi and Qigong. He's the director and chief instructor of the Institute of Integral Qigong and Tai Chi, and is a co-founder of the Healer Within Foundation. He's the author of best-selling books, The Healing Promise of Qi and The Healer Within. He's the developer of the Tai Chi Easy Method. And so I could go on, but Roger, I believe I want to turn things over to you and allow you as much time as possible today. I know everyone is really excited. We're so thankful to you for sharing practice. It's very timely to have you here today, and we're really looking forward to it. So please, without further ado.
Thank you, Christy, and welcome everyone. Many blessings. We are in complex times, but then we could say that on every day of every year, there are people who are being born, people dying, violence, some places, peace in other places. It seems like there's no end really to what we could call complexity or reasons for distress. And yet, many of us, I know, including many of you as well as myself, are very committed to peace and justice and equality and well-being as rights that have been granted to everyone in our society, and should be true for every country all around the world, just in case you are in faraway places. And lately we've been doing a lot online for all kinds of reasons, including the fact that it's the 21st century and we're allowed and we can build a community of people beyond our time zone, even beyond what is easy to reach by the telephone, by being online like this. So I just want to acknowledge for a moment the Healer Within Foundation. I'm one of the founders. My wife, Rebecca, is another one of the founders, and you'll probably get to spend some time with Rebecca at some point. And the motivation, the impulse for the creation of the Healer Within Foundation was all the way back in the last millennium, meaning in the 1980s and the 1990s, was an ideal for Rebecca and myself that then became a reality in the 2000s, in the new millennium. And the intention of the Healer Within Foundation is to support people in understanding how powerful they are and how much of what is required for health, well-being, and a sense of internal peacefulness, that is all given. The capacity to sustain well-being, to recover well-being if it has been lost, and to have methods to be able to sustain peace within our own self in troubled times. And so today, I'd like to start with just some meditation. I'm going to ring this gong, And we'll do some practice with movements as well. But first, let's just be quiet for a while. And as you look out on the horizon of these days, and it really probably doesn't matter too much what date it is, in what year, there's always going to be someone that will be departing. They're all, well, we don't know always about anything. You know, never say never, never say always. But we know that on a very regular basis, people are departing from our world and the communities of our lives and our families. And people are joining this world at the same time. And we know that some people somewhere are experiencing a sense of victory, and some people somewhere are feeling a sense of injustice and inequality. And for me personally, I find that to the personality, I find that very upsetting, and have been involved in trying to be a part of how the world is at peace, because we know that it could be, and that the world could be fed, because we know that it could be, and that the world could be, that the planet Earth could be taken care of, because we know that it could be. And so for myself, and I think you too, we've been devoted to inclusiveness, justice, peace, equality, healing, and well-being for our whole lives. So it's always potentially very disconcerting to notice that people are hungry and people are repressed and violence exists. So for just these few moments, I'm going to ring this gong 3 times. See if you can actually just tone down, calm down, turn inward, reflect on whatever your personal sense of the highest organizing forces in the universe are or is. And so here we go. Now 3 times could be adjust your posture, adjust your breath, adjust your mind. 3 times could be the 3 treasures of the earth and the sky and the living beings in between. 3 times could be Tai Chi, the Tai Chi being the yang above us and the yin below us, and the Tai Chi that we are. You know, when yin and yang merge, in the language of the ancient Chinese tribes, the character that describes the merging of yin and yang is the character for Tai Chi. And so just see if you can get a feeling of being infused by earth force rising and heaven force descending. And reflect on the possibility that there's a part of you that is like the earth, call it the body, and that there's a part of you that's like the sky. And I don't mean the local sky, I mean the boundless sky. And that would be the spiritual aspect of ourself. These earth and sky convergences within our own being is ourself. 3 gongs. Now, stay with that for a moment. As if in some way, maybe even a way that cannot be calculated using the normal methodologies for determining anything, but maybe in ways that cannot be determined, or maybe in ways that can. That these three gongs and this quiet, this stillness, and this effort on our part, my part and your part, to calm down at the same time as powering up. Calm down, power up. It's like an opposite, two opposites. That's like Tai Chi. That's what Tai Chi means, is the merging of two aspects of one thing. Like temperature, hot and cold. Like magnitude, big and small. Like a day, like 24 hours, dark and light. To take rest or to take refuge deep within our own being. If you're watching this right now, you have a lot to be grateful for. Apparently you have some kind of a device upon which to be able to view this program. Your life allows you to take time to seek stillness and empowerment. And then before we go to some body movement, I'm going to use the word prayer, and then you can translate that into whatever you wish. Take a moment now to, in prayer, two things. One, acknowledge that which you have been given with gratitude. And then second, in prayer or in a high level of personal consciousness, recommit to your highest values. So with this theme of Tai Chi, let's just talk about this for a few moments, because Tai Chi is often reflected upon as harmony and balance. And as it should be, beautiful. But then we have to ask the question, harmony and balance between what? Well, harmony and balance between dark and light, like day and night. And with the dawn and the dusk reflecting the moment when day becomes night and night becomes day. That's Tai Chi. That is described by Tai Chi. Let's think about how a person has a top and a bottom. The bottom, the feet connected with the earth. The top, the sky, associated not with just local sky, but boundless sky. And then when we go to our practice and we use gestures that have been developed by people who care to afford us the opportunity to be quiet for a while and move the body, activate the breath, and clear the mind, all simultaneously. This is the magic formula called the three treasures. So I'm going to step back and we'll just do Tai Chi for a little while. I want to get somewhere where the light is pretty good. All right, now let's talk about feet. For right now, we're going to be doing Tai Chi with our feet together to start, and then usually we just step out one way, but then that puts me in the wrong spot. So I'm going to step out both ways. So I'm going to step out one way and then shift my weight and then step out the other way. And because I do Tai Chi all the time, my feet are going to be at about shoulder width or more. You can do this sitting and you can do this standing. And we can do Tai Chi walking, but today's not the day for that. We'll do that another day. Some other presenter will present that. And by the way, I want to just take a moment to appreciate every person who's made a presentation through this Healer Within international outreach to inspire people with how simple it is to be able to maximize function of the body and settle the mind and open a space for awareness of our spiritual nature. Thank you to every one of our graduates from the IIQTC, the Institute of Integral Qigong and Tai Chi, and all the graduates of Tai Chi Easy practice leader trainings from the through the Healer Within Foundation. So you can't see my feet, but it doesn't matter because I just told you what my feet are going to be doing. Given the fact that we're not stepping, that should be easy enough to accomplish. We're going to do 5 Tai Chi gestures, and we're going to do them in a state of deep reverence for everything that we just said: peace, inclusiveness, well-being, equality, justice. So in a way, what we're doing is that we're putting out waves of energy that are acknowledging our commitment to these ideas for all beings, including ourselves. So first, let's align between heaven and earth. And aligning between heaven and earth isn't so much adjusting the posture, it's more to adjust our mind focus. We rang the gong a few times, and we brought ourselves into a new context from what we were doing earlier. And aligning between heaven and earth is just another step into almost like a portal of safety and inner reflection, and a place to take refuge while we maximize function. So think of the earth below you, and notice we probably wouldn't be here if it wasn't here, and also notice that the food that you eat arises from the earth, and notice that the water that you drink falls from the sky, penetrates the earth, and then is pumped up into a useful source for you. So everything about the earth, including substance, including the fact that we are a substance. So we are, to a certain extent, metaphorically like the earth. And imagine the magnetic field of the earth rising. And then turn your attention to the sky, the boundless sky, and think to yourself, what part of myself is like sky? And the most boundless aspect of ourself is sometimes called the spirit, sometimes called the soul, whatever you like to call it. If you don't like to call it something like spirit and soul, then think to yourself about the nature of being and who or what or how you are previous to being in this body and then after being in this body. What is it that we return to when we discard the body, and we'll call that whatever the metaphor for the sky is. Sky energy is like the magnetic energy of suns and billions of stars infusing us. So earth force rising, heaven force descending, merging within our being to create our life. Then 3 adjustments, 3 treasures, 3 intentful or mindful points of focus. Posture, breath, and mind. Start with posture. Sink into your knees just slightly. Adjust your pelvis. And at some point, somebody will come online and give a lecture about how to adjust your pelvis. For right now, just find a good, stable place for your pelvis on top of bent knees, slightly bent knees. Lengthen your spine. Head lift up. Shoulders drop down. Fingers soft. And space between your body and your arms. So make a little space between your body and your arms. Second intentful point of focus, second adjustment, is the breath. And through this practice, especially today, with our focus on these incredibly high ideals of justice, equality, and peace, well-being, going to do a lot of breath practice with the Tai Chi. So right now, breath in, belly breath, chest breath. Exhale slowly. Now, if we breathe slowly like that, the Tai Chi movements are going to be very slow, and they're going to take us deep into a sense of internal reflection, should you be willing to be that focused. Third intentful point of focus, the mind. The mind is scattered. The mind loves to think about what it has been happening lately. The mind loves to think about being nervous about what's going to happen next. But we're neither in lately or next. We're here in the present moment focus. And to represent that, we're going to put our past in one hand and our future in the other hand, bring our hands together as if to say, now, keyword now, on purpose with intent. Feel the power of those words, now, on purpose, with purpose and intent. I am committed to sustaining the present moment focus for the duration of this practice. Wow, such powerful words. Now, on purpose, with intent, I commit to focus on the present for the duration of this practice. And then think to yourself, how powerful would it be if I could carry the focus on the present moment into my life and relationships? That's part of what Tai Chi is for, to get the feeling of being in presence, undistracted, and then having that feeling so that you can seek it when you're driving and when you're talking on the phone and so forth. So, aligning between heaven and earth, 3 intentful points of focus or 3 treasures. Now open. Open goes sink. I'm going to step out both ways. So I'm stepping this way, then shifting my weight to this side and then stepping this way. My feet are at a little larger than shoulder width because I do Tai Chi every day and my legs should be able to tolerate this. You adjust, remember, feet are pretty much parallel unless that's uncomfortable. Be careful of your knees, be careful of your back, your neck, everything. Be careful, pay attention, stay in the comfort zone. Tai Chi. Raise your hands. One hand comes across the front, like you're holding a ball. That is the Tai Chi right there. So it's like holding a Tai Chi. So when I say make a Tai Chi, do that. Harmonizing yin and yang. The hand on the bottom comes across the front. Now this hand is on the bottom, comes across the front to make the Tai Chi on the other side. Separate the yin and the yang. Now here comes the breathing. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Movement and breath. Breathe in. And mind focus. All at the same time. 3 treasures. It's like a miracle. Discovered thousands of years ago by the original humans. Exhale. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Now we're going to transition to the second gesture. Make the Tai Chi. Big breath in. Turn the Tai Chi over. Exhale. Top hand comes down, brushing. If you could see my knees, we would say brushing the knees. Top hand, brushing the knees. Bottom hand is going back this way. Now press forward with the back hand. Make the Tai Chi. Breathe in. Called brush knee, send chi. So as you're doing this send chi gesture, think about sending chi, life force, energy, prayers into the world. Backhand. Interestingly enough, I got lost. Now let's talk about getting lost for this moment. Let's go cross hands in front, big breath in, and exhale, press down. One of the things it's like a hallmark of being deeply focused within oneself and deepening the breath is to basically become so thoroughly internally focused that you lose count. You might say, well, how many times was I going to do that gesture? I can't remember. It was what I decided, and I don't remember how many I did. That's actually good news. So you may think I'm kind of bailing myself out here, but the point is that the more we deepen the breath, the more we come into the present moment focus, the less we are tangled up in, shall we say, specificity, and the more that we are free. So it's not the most convenient thing for the teacher to get lost, because then the students get lost. But on the other hand, for the person who's leading the class to demonstrate the fact that it's not a bad idea to get lost in the practice. Let's start again. We'll do harmonizing 2 times. Exhale. Breath in. Exhale. Breath in. Turn the Tai Chi over. Brush knee, send Chi. Make the Tai Chi on this side. Both hands drop down. Send Chi. Breath in. Brush knee, send Chi, exhale. Breath in, make Tai Chi. Big, deep, long, slow breaths. One more time. Brush knee, send Chi. And then let's just rest here for a moment. This hand is out here somewhere. This hand is down here somewhere, facing the ground. It's almost like you're absorbing the energy of the earth and then sending the Chi out to everyone in the world. People you know, people you don't know. Keep the breath going. Let's go big breath in. Exhale slowly. The reason why we're stopping right now is that we want to just settle in to this practice. And you might think, well, I'm in a hurry, I got to go. Well, then go. Part of what we're creating here is an opportunity to not go somewhere, to not need to do something next. And, it could be the wrong time for you to be doing this. So then perhaps you'll adjust your life to create that time sometime soon. And remember, our focus for today is the empowerment of the human race to sustain itself because it can, based on inclusiveness, peace, justice, healing. Here we go. We're going to transition to the next part of the Tai Chi. Raise your bottom hand up, crossed hands in front, and then bring this hand back. And now we're doing what's called cutting the path to clarity. Breath in. Exhaling, cutting the path to clarity. Breath in. So how do we do this? How do we cut a path to clarity? Well, it really has to be something that happens internally first. Then we can communicate that with others. And then we can hold the intention that the decisions that we've made have value, that we've been thorough, and that we haven't left anything out as we decided how to move forward in our life. Breath in. Breath out. Breath in. Breath out. Where is your mind right now? We've done everything to create an atmosphere. The body is engaged. There are gestures in play. We're linking the breath to the gestures. These are the tools of Qigong and Tai Chi to be able to support sustained present moment focus, which is the secret to maximizing well-being. One more on each side, cutting through to clarity, cutting the path to clarity. What are you thinking? Can you hold the present moment focus? Now we're going to transition. Sweep the back arm around. Cross your hands in front. Sink, lengthen. Now cloud hands. One hand down across the front, both hands on one side, bottom hand rising, top hand dropping down. Turn your torso and shift your weight. Turn your torso and shift your weight. Now, bottom hand up, top hand down. Shift your weight. Turn your torso. And imagine that these hands are like clouds. And imagine that you see these beautiful clouds and say to yourself, I'm going to do some cloud watching. And you know how beautiful clouds are, and how many different ways there are to think about them. And one of the ways to think about clouds now, here, is that these clouds are right in front of us. They're not in the sky. Why? Well, because we are in the mountains. And when you go to the mountains, are you not, in fact, just almost like arrested, stunned by the presence of natural beauty? And then when the clouds, when you're high enough in the mountains that the clouds are in front of you, wow, what a moment. And if you're in the mountains, you're probably not working. When you're in the mountains, you're not shopping. It is often true that when you're in the mountains, you do not have a signal on your telephone, and so you're not texting or answering emails or making phone calls. So get a feeling for being out of the complexity. Let's do the breath now. Breathe in, bottom hand rises. Breathe out, cloud passing. Breathe in, bottom hand rises. Breathe out, shift your weight, turn your torso, cloud passing. Now you can breathe the opposite way if you wish. And we're going to watch these clouds passing for just a few more times. See if you can hold the present moment focus. When we are undistracted in presence, the body actually makes healing resources. The body makes medicine. Let us be ultra focused on making medicine within our own being right now. Breath in, breath out. Last one. Now, as if you're going to do that again, but instead cross your hands. Open your hands, sink down, gathering from the earth. Like an armload of the earth force. Now reaching up, gathering big armload of sky force or heaven force. It's as if we are acknowledging our source, earth source, body, sky source, heaven source, celestial source, boundless source, associated with the clear mind and the eternal spirit. One more. Sink down. Go down as far as it's comfortable for you. Take good care of all the parts of your body as you're doing this. And now we're going to conclude by standing in a meditation posture. Make a big circle here, a big circle here. Sink into your knees, drop your sacrum, lengthen your spine, head on top, shoulders drop, fingers soft, elbows neither too high nor too low. And let's just breathe here together. Breathe and chant to yourself some kind of affirmation. Maybe it's appreciation for yourself, gratitude for yourself, appreciation for the Healer Within Foundation, spreading healing and empowerment throughout the world. Deep breaths. Make little adjustments, stay comfortable. If it's comfortable for you to shift your weight to one side, to take a little weight off of one foot, and then shift your weight to the other side to take the weight off of the other foot for a few moments. We've been standing for a while. 3 really deep breaths. Feel the peace within your own being, and then knowing that in some way that peace is not contained just within you. As you're exhaling, perhaps, it's like sending peace into the world. One more deep breath. And now we'll close. Closing, lots of ways to close. Palms forward, shift your weight to one side, gather from around you, step together, as if you're gathering forces from earth and from the living field, the biofield, the trees and the plants and the flying animals and the walking animals and the swimming animals. And then that boundlessness gathering, and then bathe yourself as if you are bathing yourself in the most incredibly profound healing resource that you can possibly imagine. And as your hands are passing your eyes and your ears and your nose and your mouth, think to yourself sending healing resources. And as your hands are passing your thyroid gland and your heart and your lungs and your thymus gland and your diaphragm, think to yourself sending healing resources to those parts of myself. And as you're passing your liver and your spleen and your pancreas and your stomach and your gallbladder and your kidneys in the back and your adrenal glands in the back, think to yourself sending healing resources to my solar plexus organs. And as your hands are passing your large and small intestine and then your bladder and your reproductive organs, think to yourself, and now sending healing resources to those organs. Let's just do that again, this time without all the talk. Big breath in. Long, slow exhalation. Just drift there for one more deep breath. So we'll conclude, we're not shaking hands these days. We can go Kung Fu acknowledgement. We can go Taoist contemplative acknowledgement. Presence, past and future in the present acknowledgement. And I will put my hand on my heart and wave to you and turn this back over to Christy. And just many, many blessings to everyone who's listening. And may those blessings go out into the world from all of us. And may the Healer Within Foundation fulfill its mission. And may you all feel a part of that.
Roger, thanks. Kind of don't cover it today. Just so appreciative of your time and a beautiful practice. The ability for us to have a bit of undistracted balance today brought to us by you is just extra special. I want to remind everyone that they can tap into some other online practice opportunities through our virtual practice group list at our website, which is healerwithinfoundation.org. You'll find that list of virtual practice groups up at the top of the homepage, and you'll just click on virtual practice groups, and you'll find several opportunities there to join in with others around the country, around the world, who are meeting virtually to practice together. If you've missed any of our live practice sessions, including if you want to replay or rewatch our session today with Dr. Jahnke, you can find them on our YouTube channel. Simply search, find Healer Within Foundation there at YouTube, and we have a compilation of all of our practice videos for you there. Be sure to subscribe to the channel. That just helps us grow our reach there and helps us to share these practices with more and more people as our subscribers grow. If you're leading an online practice group and wish to be added to our virtual practice group list, we'd love to add your offerings. Just send us an email to admin@healerwithinfoundation.org, or you can simply send us a message here through Facebook, and we'd be happy to speak with you about how we can get your practice added to that list. I want to please ask you to mark your calendars for our next Healer Within live practice session. That will take place this Thursday, June 4th at 8 a.m. Pacific time, 11 a.m. Eastern time, and Bina Boo will be leading us in a beautiful practice, I'm sure. Until we meet again, please take care of each other. And as always, may all be well. Thank you.